We just wanted to say hello. Don't worry, there's no problems. I am on my own. Michael's suddenly taken to his bed. Sadly, there's Michael in his sick bed. He's still alive.
I am just.
Get well soon. So, I'm just here to say this is the final stretch of the Leeds and Liverpool canal today. So we're going from the outskirts of Leeds all the way down into the centre of Leeds to Granary Wharf, which is fantastic to take Border Reever back to where we're both from. Enjoy this episode, but you need to hang on to the very end. You might wonder what it is when you see the title of the video. Stay tuned because we've got some really exciting news to tell you. Had to be taken to hospital. Thankfully he's okay. It's really troublesome. Do we want to talk about Andre's past experience with us?
No, it's fine. Definitely not. He's a Marin. I'm no expert, but this isn't working.
Take your wig wags off and then put your wig wags on.
Right. We've just bumped into Andrea and Andrew on Lingalonga, who've been into Leeds already and are now heading back towards Liverpool. Yeah, lovely to catch up with them. Hi guys.
Outside my window, is everything pale and cold? Can't seem to pick up my phone. It's been ringing all day long. Behind these clouds, I know the sun will be, but today's raining.
So we've done the Bingley 5 rise, the Bingley 3 rise, and then the 2 locks after that. We're just coming up to final single lock before we go into the town of Saltaire, which is very historic, industrial revolution. So we've got a swing bridge immediately before the lock, then there's a teeny weeny pound, and then the lock here, and there's actually a boat just going up in the lock. I think gates are open. We're going to have to wait anyway, which is fine. Looks like there's one boat going in. Yeah. So this is Saltaire and the world famous Salts Mill. Incredibly impressive building. So this is the UNESCO World Heritage Site that is Salts Mill in the village of Saltaire. Absolutely fascinating place. We'll put a link in the description below so you can have a look at it and do a bit of reading. It's just amazing. Huge industrial mill that was built in the 1850s to basically manufacture cloth. and every single process that was required from taking the raw wool all the way through to the cloth manufacture was housed in this one mill. And the story of Titus Salt is really interesting because he built a whole village here for all of his workers, thousands of people, and now it's been renovated as the mill area and is retail spaces, art galleries, and David Hockney's, who's a very famous artist, has got his own his exhibitions. It's the single biggest Hockney exhibition in the world. Have a look. So we're just leaving Saltaire, our mooring here. So we're just going to go a couple of miles probably to the top of the next locks and moor up for the day. I think it's 3 o'clock. Michael's been working this morning, so a bit of a late start, but yeah, a couple of hours I think. We'll see how we go on. I've got my CRT key because I know the next swing bridge is an automated one, so I need this little baby to operate it. Okay, thanks, I'll start it going. Oh, no, okay. They're all coming through. Right, I'm going now. Oh, Jesus. I thought she was just about to come across. Gosh. Picked up the revs just as she was coming to the bridge. Right, we're going down. Do we know why there are so many breweries in Saltaire? Change of duties, captain's walking, just on 2 swing bridges, and I think there's another one to do in not so long. Then, oh yeah, about half a mile, and then we're cruising up to the field 3 locks, which is a staircase lock of 3. We might go through it, we might not. We'll see how we feel. I always say we're going to have a short cruise today, and then something happens and we go a lot further than we thought, so you can never tell. It's still really, really quiet on this section of the Leeds-Liverpool. But as we get closer to Leeds, I suspect it's going to get a little busier. There'll probably be a lot more permanent moorings, a lot more liverboards closer to the city. Because as we chatted before, it's a really, really good way of living. It's cheap, or it's a lot cheaper than living in a house. And if you're just wondering why I've come off the gas a little bit, it's because I'm going past a moored boat and they're pinned. And I don't want to unsettle the pins. You've obviously seen in a couple of previous episodes, mainly on the K&A, that we had to rescue a couple of boats that had become unpinned because people had maybe gone past too long, or they've maybe just been there for quite a long time. The pinned boats, up to 2 weeks, you can stay somewhere, and maybe the pins had just become loose. It doesn't take much at all. So yeah, have a look at those episodes and you can see where we rescued a couple of boats. So you can see I've gone past the boat now, so I can just put the gas back on again. And you can just make the captain out in the distance, strolling on to the next swim bridge. Right, time to advance. So we're just at Field Locks, just before Appley Bridge on the Leas of Liverpool, and I'm going to try and explain this, how it works. It's really tricky. So we're going down in the lock and there's two boats. So there's another boat, which is helpful. So basically the top lock needs to be filled for us to go in, and the gates opened obviously. The middle lock needs to be half full, because when you empty the first lock into the second lock fills up. And if the second lock is too full, when you then empty the second lock into the third lock will overflow, and you could end up floating off the side, out the sides of the lock. Scary. So there's some very detailed instructions, so we're just making certain that the locks are in the right position before we go in. So we've got both boats going into the first lock here. What also makes this complicated is that all of the gates have got anti-vandal keys on them, so we've had to undo all of those to begin with in order that we can operate the lock. Oh, Michael's just coming in there. So that's the anti-vandal key there, and it's well in the red, isn't it? Oh yeah. And then you can just see on the port side gate, which is there, there's a red marker. So we're just letting some water out of the second lock, the middle chamber, and it's got to be halfway down that green marker that you can see emerging before we go into and let water out of the second chamber into the third chamber. It's all very scientific. Down we go. Always when you're in a lock, check that the boats are going down evenly, and they are. So the second chamber's filling rapidly, and then what we'll do is we'll check the water level in the second chamber before we start to empty it into the third chamber. I think it's fascinating. Every single lock has its own individual characteristics, and staircase locks are just one example of that. You've got to know how to do it. There's no lockies on here, and I don't think there ever is any lockies on here probably, so it's a really detailed set of instructions, which is fantastic. So we're just opening the gates for the first lock, so we can come straight out from the first lock into the second lock. That's stiff, gosh. No, I'll do it once we've gone through all three. And hopefully both boats will move through together now. So the final act is to put the anti-vandal keys back on, which are these massive chains here, and then make certain nobody can tamper with them. Yeah, that's done. That's that one done. That one's on. So that there needs to be set, and it sits in there. So that's done. And those are the instructions. I'll freeze the page so you can all have a look, and then we'll test you. And if you've got any questions, drop us a comment. And that's the field locks going down. So the final check is make certain all anti-vandal keys are back on, make certain all paddles are down, and gates closed, and we're good to go, I think. And I see the boat's exiting the lock now. Well, that was crit and factor challenging, coming through those locks. Yeah, you just had to get the water level set right in each of the locks before you started. It made sense for us both to come through together. And then I think we're going to try and we've got 2 swing bridges. I think Michael's set off walking. I've got the map book out, I can't see without my glasses on. Excuse me squinting. Another swing bridge underneath the railway line, and then down to Dobson 2 locks, it looks like, just before Appley Bridge. Both boats are going to do the Dobson 2 locks together. So I'm just going past a marker which tells me I'm 117 miles from Liverpool. 10 1/4. Yeah, only 10 1/4 miles to Leeds. Captain said I came back past through that swing bridge a little too rapid. No dessert for me tonight then after dinner. One thing we can't transmit on video is the smell or aroma in the air. We're just going past quite a really big Yorkshire water treatment plant. It's very smelly. Woo! I've done it. Oh. That wasn't tricky. Heavens above. Ready. Short hop today, just from Appley Bridge down to Rodley. A couple of swing bridges, about 3 miles, and then we're going to moor. We've only had a short cruise today. Right, first of the swing bridges in Rodley to do. We're also going to come across a famous, troublesome swing bridge in Rodley, but we'll be doing that in the morning. So we're going to have had our breakfast and our brain switched on for doing that, because apparently it's really, really troublesome. We shall explain. That's us, moored in Rodley, about 6 miles from Leeds. So this is the famous Rodley swing bridge, but this is the one that's been causing all the problems. We're going to come through this tomorrow. This is our first challenge of the morning. I can see a massive amount of instructions. So this is one of these sets of instructions. It's a privately operated bridge, an owned bridge by Rodley Bridge Company, and on this particular signpost we've got steps 5 to 10. We're just wondering where steps 1 to 4 are. Are they on the other thing? There's 2 signposts.
Well, no, it says operate barriers from control console. And I presume steps 1 to 4, 11 to 14 are in the control console.
Right, so hang on, look, here's the control console. Oh, and you've got to, right, so there's a QR code. How exciting. And then we've got to put our key in first. I've not brought a key.
Then there's this.
Right, hang on, then there's also that there, which is another key.
And then this.
Hang on, Michael's demonstrating bridge.
And then this that you've got to jack up with.
What do we think?
I think it's overly complicated for a swing bridge. I don't think it needs to be as complicated as 1 to 4 and 11 to 14 are under that under this space hub here. When you open this, I expect steam to come out of it. You know, like.
Is it like a
spaceship?
Starship Enterprise?
I think there's some music apparently when you open it. Oh, you're going to get run over by a car. I don't want that. Yeah, I think there's some music when you open it, like a Starship Enterprise music. And then, oh, careful, you're going to get. Oh my goodness. Car going behind Jack. Well, there's orange lights to flash and barriers to come down. And
I think we're going to need an extra lot of breakfast in the morning before we operate this.
I need something for my brain. It's like, push this. It's going to be one of them, isn't it?
What does it?
I don't know. I've seen one on your WhatsApp with beard.
We've got crew on board today. Meet Andre.
Morning. This is my lifelong friend Andre, who's come to help us. Without Andre's help, I doubt whether we can do it today because there's a lot going on. So.
Do we want to talk about Andre's past experience with us?
No, he's fine. Definitely not. He's a mariner. He has done this before with us, but yeah, so it should be a bit of a laugh.
Right, come on then, let's get on with it.
We always make a laugh out of everything, so it might be a bit of fun.
So, we're now going from Rodley, swing bridge behind me, into Granary Wharf in Leeds. The lads are walking now down to the first swing bridge, which is the Moss Swing Bridge, which I'll also critique in a second. So we've got, I think, about 6 miles, about 3 swing bridges, one of which is automated, which is the Moss Swing Bridge, and 13 locks to do today, which is a mammoth day. 3 of them are staircase locks. We've got 2 sets of 3 and 1 set of 1, and then the rest are single locks, I think. So it's quite a long day. Nicholson's guide advises that you don't leave it any later than 3 p.m. to set off to get into the centre of Leeds from where we're moored, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so I think we're going to be okay. The Moss Swing Bridge was recently rebuilt and re-engineered. I think the best thing to do is I'm going to video it and we'll critique what goes on. Let's just say it's been turned from a very simple single key operation or a manual swing bridge into the most complex system that anybody's ever seen. And I'm certain Michael will mention it later, but the gentleman that built it, when he was demonstrating it for the first time to the local residents and the local dignitaries of the Rodley and Pudsey area, actually had a heart attack in the middle of the demonstration, had to be taken to hospital. Thankfully he's okay. Very technical. You've got to use a QR code. You need your watermate key, you need your anti-vandal key, you need a whole load of muscle, which is why the lads have gone to do it. Because it's so complicated, the company that owns it and that are responsible for it have had to put a person on duty from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day of the week, in order that he can assist boaters who run into difficulty with it. We met him last night. So he doesn't actually do the swing bridge, he doesn't operate it for you, but he takes you through the process of what you've got to do. I don't think there's any other swing bridge in the whole country that is like that. If you know differently, please drop us a comment and let us know. The other thing to say is I'm obviously travelling due east at the moment. I've got the sun completely in my face. So you're going to explain what's going on?
No chance. If we knew what was going on, then we'd be all right.
I'm no expert, but this is working.
Should you be stood on the bridge while you're doing it?
Let go off the lever. Carry on turning.
Actually, I'd fall from the lever.
What's it?
Completely, yeah. There's beetle coming out there.
What's supposed to be happening now? Anything?
You're opening the wedges. If you look over there, you're on number 6.
You've got to step number 6 already.
Yeah, we're not mucking around.
This one is 1 to 4.
Oh yeah.
And that is 5.
We're removing wedges now.
Yeah.
To swing the bridge at position 8, lift the tall lock catch.
Tail lock, it says tail lock.
Tail lock.
Says tail
Glasses
lock.
on. Tail lock
It says
catch.
tail lock.
Where's the tail lock catch?
On step 8, when you get to step 8. I mean step 7, step 7.
Stop now.
Yeah, go to the next one.
There's another one.
It's finishing here and that's position B.
Right, they've now walked to the other side of the bridge and they've got to open this as well. Oh, hang on. Do I need to stay over here? The bridge is actually moving now. I'll stay over here because the boat's over here. Oh, the bridge is moving. I think they've cracked it. Person coming through quickly.
Oh, so you can bring it through. Well, because we're stopping traffic.
They seem to have done it, so I've been instructed to bring the boat through. Sorry. I've got the easy task here. Oh, I like this. It's brilliant. They've got to close it now. That could be fun in itself. There's lots of winding going on. I think this was the bit where the guy had a bit of a heart attack because there was so much winding to do. Oh, we're nearly there. Let's see what they've got to say for themselves when we go through. So go on then. I notice Michael's been given the winding task now. He seems to be drawing a crowd.
Make sure your wigwags are on.
What's a wigwag?
Don't tell me you don't know what a wigwag is.
No, I don't. What is a wigwag?
Well, you press wigwag and then the wig.
Well, they're off at the start.
Right,
You need to take your wigwags off and then put your wigwags on.
right.
And then on, off, and then you've got to shake them all about.
Oh,
Take the key out.
This key.
Yeah.
oh, that's a. All right. Is that the key you got out?
Yeah, that's the key for the boat.
Now put it in there.
Yeah, put it back in there where you took it out from.
Where did you get that key from?
In here.
There.
And
Oh.
that's it, my key
No,
out.
no, carry on the procedure.
Push your button.
And the next one. Keep it pressed.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
We've got traffic jams and everything.
No.
Close it.
Not in there.
So this
No,
key.
no, that's not your key. No, close the lid. Now look at it. Now take the key out.
You probably will.
That's it. Oh,
Is that it?
yeah, the handle.
What we're doing?
Anyway, I'll film that.
you've broken it. You've broken it, haven't you?
Cool. Thanks, love. Thanks for your help.
So, how do you feel about after doing
Oh
that?
yeah, brilliant.
My life is now fulfilled.
I bet you never thought you were going to do that swing bridge like that, did
See
you?
where the poor old chap had a heart attack. Jeez. Yeah, I only closed it. Andre opened it.
It's essential to get your wigwags up first.
You've got to
though,
get
isn't
your wigwag up.
It's all
before
about
you
the
get your
wigwag.
wig down.
Yep.
Otherwise, you've no chance.
Right, there's another swing bridge to do.
You do that. We'll do this bit. Right, we need to rest now.
We're leaving Moss Swing Bridge. The infamous new semi-automatic manual need a degree to operate swing bridge in Rodley.
We need to lie down in a dark room now.
What I should say is, note when there's something completely manual to do, guess who gets to do it? Me. So they get the fancy one with the help from the lady who was very, very helpful, it looked like, and they couldn't have done it without her. And I get the manual one to do. Next challenge. If anybody knows how that got there, drop us a comment. Let's just say there must have been very high water levels at some point, and it's behind a tree. Well, 2 trees. This is so much easier. Just unlock it and you push it and it goes. I can get back on.
A bit late for that.
Oh no, it's alright, I'll walk, it's fine.
So your wigwag's out?
I haven't got any wigwags here. Well done, second swing bridge successfully navigated, boat through. Right, I think it's newly 3 locks next, and I can't remember how far it is, so I could have a bit of a stroll. I can see this being a bit of a high exercise day for me. I want to get my coffee, I don't mind.
That's actually a good catch.
Perfect. If you're wondering why there aren't as many cyclists on the road, it's because they're all on the towpath. Let's hope they're going to single file to go past me. So this is the newly staircase locks. There's a boat here. Let's see if they're about to go down as well. I've got sneaky feelings that at least another 2 boats or 3 boats in front of us. Another set of instructions to follow. Remove all anti-vandals. The top lock needs to be full. The middle lock needs to be level with the green marker, and the bottom lock needs to be nearly empty. Once that's prepared, make certain all the paddles are closed and enter the top lock. Okay. So, update crew. The 2 higher boats, they set off very slowly earlier, have had a lot of problems with weed. The slower one of the bigger one of the 2 have had a lot of problems with weed, and they've had to go down the weed hatch a number of times. Nice. This is the boat that was moored behind us last night. Yes. So the 2 higher boats are currently going down in the lock with the lockies in attendance. Yes. There's a boat waiting to come up, yes. A single boat it looks like, and then we're going to go down.
Right. It's a comprehensive set of instructions.
Was that good?
A little bit like we had on the bridge before.
Yeah.
So
right, come on then, where's your wigwag?
That was overly ridiculous.
The first rule of wigwags is you never talk about wigwags.
There were a lot of buttons on that control panel when you opened it up.
There were.
Explain.
Well, just wigwag. The one said wigwag, and then you had to push this button that said lift wigwag or something, and then push this, do that. It was ridiculous.
If you had to do it again on your own without the lady there, could you?
Yeah, we could have done it. Well, I could have done it because Andre's here, he'd have worked it out. So
no.
We're now in a bottleneck.
Well, you know, it'll be go ahead of them and assist them. Yeah.
We do need to get ahead of them if we can.
Would you like some local history?
Oh yeah, go on.
Just to your right, my left.
Oh, hang on.
Just behind the trees here.
Said trees.
Is the local Adventure Scout camp. So the scouts from around the county used to come here. Overnight stays, adventures, all that malarkey, outdoor activities, all going swimming late until someone burnt it down.
Oh, was that some nefarious activity?
It's a very nefarious activity, so it's now
what you need is a police officer to investigate. So if you ever see one,
you know of one.
Yeah.
So that's now.
I've no idea where we'd find a police officer at all.
Now gone. That's all. That's all.
Okay. Was it investigated and did they find the culprit?
So the first one is yes, and the second one is I would say no. As these things usually go.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I just need to check the level down there.
So they're just checking the ground puddles, making certain they're down.
Just check that level, Steve. Yeah.
And then they're going to go and check the levels on the middle lock and the bottom lock to make certain that they're in the right position for us to go down. It's a bit like when we came through the locks the other day.
Right.
So the middle lock, the green marker, oh, it's there, so you can barely see it. There's on the port side lock gate, there's like a red marker at the top, and the water's got to be at the bottom of the red marker on the green. So newly lock's done with the lock keepers, all fantastic. Took a while, but we had coffee and stuff and no problem. So we're going on to do the next staircase set of locks, which is 3 as well. And one of the lockies is just going down in his car to get the next ready. Yeah, it's like being in France. When you're in France, the VNF, which is the French waterways, they have little vehicles that they go to and from, and dash between the locks to get them ready for you. Yeah, they'll all have special cars. Just closing the lock gate. So we can see how close the canals and the railways are linked. We've got the canal here, we've just come into the next set of locks. Then we've got, down below, we've got the River Aire, which obviously flows into Leeds, and then on the other side of that you can just see the train line, the train just gone past. Next set of locks. So you can just see that the red marker on the port side lock, the downstream lock gate, is just being revealed. So what he's doing is he's dropping the water level in this middle chamber in order that when they empty the top lock into this lock, it doesn't overspill out of the sides of the lock. And you'll notice here on the right hand side there's an overspill. So if the water does start to come up to the too high on the lock, the water will go over there and down the overspill. Hopefully you can just make out the top of the green marker there. That's going into land at Leeds Bradford. Planes, trains and automobiles and narrowboats. Next lock, Kirkstall Lock.
So there's a boat going down in the lock on its own, you'll just have to wait and also the lock.
Right, okay, no problem. So this is Kirkstall Little Lock. Both of the hire boats that were in front of us going the same direction have got separated. We're not quite certain how that's happened, but it has. So the second hire boat's just gone through the lock, and there's a boat coming into the lock now. We're going to go through this lock with the other boat again. So we've managed to stay together, which is good.
That's like the timestamp on the photo.
Stuck in it.
We're stuck at the back end because it's really shallow there. How to punt a narrowboat. The boat with us has just got his stern stuck. So now Michael is trying to push with their barge pole and try and push the stern away. Right, I'm going with our barge pole here to see if we can give some extra purchase and get them free because they're well and truly stuck. Right, you're free.
I'm with you.
Right, well we've just freed them because they were completely stuck and now they seem to be completely stuck again. They were completely free. It was completely free, was the boat. Completely. But he's letting his he keeps letting his back end go into the side, and I don't understand why. It's obviously really, really shallow.
There's not a lot of traffic on it.
Kirkstall Brewery there, so that's Kirkstall Road, for those of you who know Leeds. It's going all right. You can hear me above the noise. So, we've got a quarter of a mile to go and we're in Leeds. Incredible. We've been nearly a whole lap of the country. Well, we have. Started in Cheshire 2.5 years ago. Got all the way to Bath and Bristol, into London, and then all the way back up, across to Leeds, Liverpool, and we're arriving in Leeds. So exciting! So we've got this one to do, and we're here. Oh, got you on film. So, we're in Leeds. Captain.
Homeward bound.
Yeah, right outside Doubletree Hotel.
Yeah. All these years we've had boats and we've never been into the city that we are both from.
Yeah, I know.
We're here now.
It's definitely time for a beer. So this is where we are. You might think this is just another mooring, but this is Leeds. This is where we're from. We're so excited to bring Border Reaver into Leeds. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, so it's not perfect, it's a little bit short, but we're okay, we're not going anywhere. So that's us, moored, Granary Wharf. So, let's go for a little look. So, we've just come through the lock over there, and apparently there's another lock round the corner. So that's the river lock, which is only open between 1 and 3. Lots of gorgeous little waterside pubs and restaurants here. And then that's the lock which drops us down into onto the River Aire. And this is where all the bars and restaurants are. Drinks for the crew now. Good beer. Cheers. Thanks, crew.
Cheers. We made it.
Cheers. We're in Leeds. Wasn't that amazing? We loved it. Brought Border Reaver all the way back into Leeds. Anyway, so what happens now? Well, you know, over the last 12 to 14 years, Michael and I have done so much travelling. We've had boats in Holland, Belgium and France. We've had a smaller narrowboat. We've travelled around in a motorhome or RV. So we decided that we'd have another adventure. Hence why Border Reaver's going up for sale. We'll leave a link below and you can have a look and see where she's for sale. One of you might be interested. We've done lots of travelling whilst we've been together, and this is going to be no exception. We're not going to be doing any vlogging, but we are going to be showing you where we go and what we do on our Instagram account, which is called Cruising on the Border. Links below. So if you want to see what we're up to, subscribe and yeah, come along for the adventure. We just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's followed us on YouTube, who's subscribed and left us a comment. We've loved it. We've enjoyed the whole experience and bringing it to everybody. All the thrills and spills and trips and falls and all the rescues we've done. Anyway, if you've not watched all of them, go back through and have another look. And if you follow us on Instagram, we'll show you where we're going and what we're going to be doing. Thank you again. It's been fantastic having you all along, and see you later. Bye.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.